Hello, hello, hello. It is Wednesday, 27 August, 2025. We're setting up for Wednesday night DREAGUS Productions radio shows. Starting out with Censorship Sucks, which I'll get up and running here for a pre-show in just a few minutes. So I hope everybody had a great week and great past weekend. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you all for tuning in, as always. So let me get everything up and rolling. Checking to make sure everything is up and going before we start getting crazy. There we go. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us and coming in. We will get going here in just a little bit. Let me call up the group and make sure everybody is hunky-dory fine. Call those people. Call our friends. Call the Censorship Sucks guys. Take our time getting everything up and rolling. Here he is.
There we go. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay tonight. How about you?
All right.
Make sure I got everything going.
Can't complain.
That's the plan. Man, Stan. Here we go. Waiting on Barry. He's going to say, I can't find the room. I've been here the whole time. I've been ringing.
Okay, let's see here. No.
he's not up and ready yet.
It's all right.
So what'd you do this week?
Same old shit. Just doing a bunch of
Different
maintenance
day,
projects and yeah. I opened this can of worms when I wanted to paint a couple signs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple that were bothering me because they weren't bright enough, and so I got some paint and started painting them. And now I realize there's like 30 more. Like it's hard to just do the couple that I wanted to do without the other ones now looking really dull. I got to repaint a bunch of these things. It's just a bigger project than I chewed off when I dove into it. You know how that goes, though.
Yep. Sure do.
You start something and it's like, oh shit,
Ugh.
this is a much bigger bag of worms than I thought it was.
Yeah, like you look at yourself and say, what the hell did I get myself into this time? And like, scratch your head and other things, and you know, just like shake your head and like, there it is. Yeah, I knew I should have thought this through a little better.
My damn phone pushes ads to me. Like my phone does it.
Yeah.
It ticks me off. It's like, why are you pushing ads at me? Like
I hate it when that happens, man.
And it's the dumbest stuff too. Like things I would never in a million years have any interest in.
Yeah, stuff that you don't even want to know about. Not important. Not in the slightest.
Like, what was this one? $4 off Dice Dreams. Right? Dice Dreams. It looks like it's some silly little game for kids.
Mm-hmm.
But I can save $4 if I'm like, what? I'm never ever in a million years going to buy that. I mean, if I had a 4-year-old kid, okay, fine, you know. So did you ever talk to Terry?
I kept getting like the voicemail thing, and I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to text him. And
yeah.
I haven't got that far yet with him yet.
I've never called or like actually talked to him, I don't think, but he texts all the time.
Oh, okay. 'Cause yeah, I'm not a big phone guy.
I know I hate typing on my phone.
Super hate
mind-boggling
typing on the phone. Roger Hanson in Kick Chat. Yeah, he's gonna be restreamed.
Hey, Roger.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's getting it all set up. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to top off, and I'll be right back. Hopefully, if you see Barry, let him in. You know.
Oh, all right. I'll keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
So everybody, how's it going tonight? Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. That's right. We're diving into it tonight. Got all kinds of great stories coming up, all kinds of news from all over the world, some of it good, some of it bad, and some of it quite horrific, honestly, as I look through these tabs. But also good, you know. Rays of sunshine exist out there. I mean, what about that little 12-year-old kid, that girl? in Ireland, standing there with a machete in one hand and an axe in the other, fending off foreign men who are filming her, following her. Don't touch me, don't touch me, she kept saying. Don't touch me, as if they had been trying to touch her. God-awful stuff, man. God-awful stuff these kids have to go through nowadays. I mean, that's just not... That kid is going to be hardened. By the time they turn 20, they're going to be hardened into some very, very vicious people who've seen wicked, horrible, vicious things in their lives. And it's quite scary to think of an entire generation of kids over there growing up like that. But it's what you get. I mean, it's been going on for at least 10 years. I think, you know, Tommy Robinson was out there first speaking vocally on this for a long time. I mean, it's got to be at least 10 years ago that I first came across him, probably closer to 15. And so there's already tens and tens of thousands of women now that are getting up into their, you know, mid-20s or early 30s who have been exposed to this, who lived through it. And I don't know where their voices are. You know, you'd think we'd be hearing from more and more of them, but I would also understand that it'd be very difficult to come forward and say, yeah, I was a victim of this, you know? But it's just, they really need to find that strength and come forward and start talking about the things that have happened across the board to them and everyone they know. But anyway, that's that. I don't want to, if you know my show, you know I don't like to talk too much politics or even really at all before the show, just to save my voice. And especially politics, because it's so easy to forget what you talked about before the show versus what you talked about in the first hour of the show. So if I've seen that before in the early days where we would get into some heated stuff about politics, and I'd be reluctant to raise it in the show later because did we already talk about that during the show or was it before the show? I can't remember, you know? Because the last thing I want to do is bring up the same story in the second hour that we covered in the first hour and come off like Joe Biden.
I don't know if we covered that one yet, kiddo.
Oh boy, it's a beautiful day. It's cooled off quite a bit out here in Arizona, and it was hot last week, man. Then all of a sudden, boom, it just cooled right off. Got some rain, which is so needed, man. We haven't seen rain like all summer since like spring, like you know, like early mid-spring, like April. I don't think it rained at all in, for sure, like most of May, all of June, July, and now, you know, half of August up until this last week to like the 20th or so. So it was dry as a bone out here. Very dangerous stuff. It's amazing if you look at, you know, the number of fires that consistently run across the West Coast and the Rockies and whatnot. It is just a staggering number of them. I would bet right now there must be 40 or 50 burning at this moment in time, at least. And yeah, I mean, there could be that many in California alone. It's just such a huge area, and it's so dry. It just doesn't rain very much on the West Coast. It's very, very different than living back east, where you don't get the humidity and you don't get the rain. I remember, you know, Lake Tahoe, it didn't rain at all ever in the summer. You could plan a wedding there in July, a year from now, 2 years, 3 years from now. It doesn't matter which year, it doesn't matter which weekend you pick, it won't rain, which is pretty amazing. I actually had a friend of mine who was reluctant, kind of on the fence about coming out. And he's like, it'll probably just rain and we'll hang out inside the whole time and be bored. And I'm like, dude, if it rains, I will pay for your ticket. So he's like, what, really? Like, yeah, if it rains, if you feel one drop of rain, I will pay for your ticket. Like, heck, if we have a cloudy day, I'll pay for your ticket. And so, of course, he came out, and we didn't even see a cloud the whole time. You know, it's funny, there's that expression, there's not a cloud in the sky. And in the Midwest, it means there's some clouds in the sky. There's just not many of them. But out in, you know, if you're in LA and they say there's not a cloud in the sky, it means there's not a cloud in the sky. There's not a one, which is kind of interesting. I mean, you know, chemtrails sometimes, depending where you're at, of course. But yeah, I remember after 9/11 being out in some meadow and looking up at the sky, and there just wasn't a single chemtrail. It was kind of crazy because they'd grounded all the planes, and it looks so different. It's amazing how we get used to that, you know. And now they're putting an end to it, which is great. Slowly but surely, they're putting an end to it. I got to remember to watch for Barry in the room, whatever. Let me see here. I wonder if I can check messages here without leaving the call. Yeah, okay. Chapter return to meeting, and there we go. I don't think I left just there, did I? If I did, I don't know. I guess if I did, I did. I know there's a lot of you on different platforms out there, but yeah, let's see here. I rarely watch the chat and everything while we're on the air because it's just a distraction, really. It's hard to, you know, have an extra tab open and read that when I'm talking and we're live on the air. So, and here's Mark.
Yeah, here I come.
Hey, Mark.
I thought
Right.
I thought Barry was in, but
No.
wow. What's going on?
I don't know. Let me check.
Let me try to ring him. I'll see if I can add him in.
God.
All right.
Mine's chat is so frustrating.
Yeah, he's up now. He just turned green, so let's see if I can. He'll pick up the call now. Sorry to make you talk so much by yourself.
Oh, no, you like it.
Yeah, I did.
There he is.
Hey, hey there, Barry. You okay? Everything all right over there in Okie Dokie Land?
Last minute thing.
Can't hear you, bud.
Yeah, he's in a setup phase. I'll be up in a minute.
Yeah, I got to get that coffee going.
What was that?
Have that coffee ready to go.
I sure do.
I do too, man. Freshly ground, as a matter of fact. Starbucks, unfortunately, but hey.
Starbucks. Ew, yuck.
Yeah, but
Just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground.
That's right.
They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance. These are the sort of basic assurances that every family should have, every step of the day, regardless of where they are in our country.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
I'm so deeply saddened, and I'm so sorry to the families that I know are suffering right now.
Okay.
You know what, man?
Mm.
I get it that what that guy's saying is important, but dude, we've been talking about this on the radio. What is it that I said maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, a couple of months ago as well, that if Kamala Harris won, they'd be burning down churches. And that they're still going to be attacking Christians. I said Christians are going to be the number one target. They're the number one persecuted group in the world. They're the number one target. And everybody just blows me off like I don't know what I'm talking about. But believe me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. live and breathe
Yeah.
this stuff, man. 24/7, 4 hours a day, every day, for 20 years now. Well, since 2006. Don't know what I'm talking. Almost 20 years. I found out the exact day that I woke up, man. It took me a while. I've been trying to find out what the day was. It was the day that Alex Jones went on Showbiz Tonight with AJ Hammer, and they've like buried that video, so I couldn't find out what year it was, and it was March 22nd, 2006, and it was that day that Alex Jones at the end was acting like a complete maniac, and I loved it. And he was like going, "Go to Infowars.com, Infowars.com, check it out." He was talking all about 9/11 and Charlie Sheen, and that's the day. And then I went there, and then within a 2-week period, I watched every single documentary that he'd put out for free, from Police State to there's 4 or 5 police states, and I don't know if Endgame had been released yet, but all the ones that he had made, Bohemian Grove.
Wow.
I just binged him and I was like so captivated, and I was doubtful. Don't get me wrong, very skeptical going into it, but man, it was like I was searching at that time. I was like, man, I got to get some answers. Nothing makes sense. The fake news, I didn't know they were fake news at the times. What I noticed about the news before I woke up was they would have this sensational story that would get released, and it'd be like the biggest thing ever, and then you'd never hear anything else about it. You'd be some groundbreaking, thing where some whistleblower came forward and something got, and I'm like, what happened to that story? That was a huge story. And it was like they buried it or something, or someone told them to stop talking about it. And that's when I started thinking, man, something is amiss. And then when Alex Jones came in and started making sense, I was like, whoa, that sounds like a possible scenario. I remember my neighbor, the day that 9/11 happened, he was a truther, and he told me that it was probably an inside job. And I remember I had the mind of a normie. I thought he was nuts. I was like, well, why would they do that, man? That would be like a self-inflicted wound, And he tried to explain it to me, but I was having no part of it, dude. I would not believe it. I thought he was just kind of a nut job and unpatriotic, when in reality he was way more patriotic than I was.
Yeah. God.
I think there's going to be, probably more churches that are going to be attacked. And it does seem like, and it makes sense, because Joe Biden said the greatest threat to America are Catholics. And I don't know why they're choosing Catholics over Protestants. I think they hate all Christians pretty much in general. But they seem to really feel like Catholics are one of their enemies. One of their enemies.
And Quakers.
Maybe they have too much influence as far as like their pro-life stance, and that bothers them. I don't know. Because I don't even think the last pope who died, I don't even think he was pro-choice. And he was as liberal as you can get.
Yeah, exactly. He was he spoke out a few times against abortion.
Exactly. And in the same breath, he would say, join the New World Order, which was crazy. We must have a New World Order. Don't evangelize. Don't spread the good news, especially to Jews, he said. He literally said that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what's this guy all about, man? Is he like, makes you wonder about all those things, the dark pope and all that kind of stuff, the conspiracies. I've never really gone down that rabbit hole, so I don't know much about it. But I know there's talk about it. Like there's some strange things that go on in the Vatican. I'm not saying the whole Vatican. Glenn Beck talked recently. He talked about how he was meeting with some Catholic bishops, and he said they were really just like good people, like saints almost. He was praising them, and then he said it was like the doors, 2 giant doors, blew open, and instantly the room, he said, got like 10 degrees colder. And this guy comes in, this ominous figure, and he was like, man. And they were like, oh, you felt that too? And he's like, yeah. He was like, man. He goes, oh, yeah. Like, oh, you felt that too? They were like, yeah. He was like, man. He goes, oh, yeah. Oh, you felt that too? They was like, so I don't know what's going on there, but you should watch that with Glenn Beck. He talks about it, and he said the temperature literally changed like 10 degrees instantaneously in the room, and that there was this air of evil that was just spreading. And he had been in the midst of these really good people. So, you know, it would be a pretty big contrast to have evil walk in on good. It would be like, whoa.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe there's some truth to some of those conspiracies. You know, maybe there's some dark stuff that goes on in the Vatican. I'm not saying everybody in the Vatican's bad, but you never know, man. There's something going on there.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, yeah, the church has done some nasty stuff in its past.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I mean, you can peg almost any time in history and point to something, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think the movie, The Book of Eli, is like the perfect depiction of how, you know, you can use good for evil purposes. You know, like the Denzel Washington character, he wanted to get the Bible to the rest of the world, to the printing presses, so that everybody could have it, because it was the last version of the Bible. And then there was this sort of dark figure, you call him like an antichrist figure, Gary Oldman, who wanted the Bible for himself as well, but not so he could enlighten people or empower people, but rather to use it to enslave people. And there's no question that religion can be used either way, either to empower people or to enslave people.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a topic we could go down. That's a rabbit hole you could go down forever, man. You know, but that movie just really, I mean, captured it for me. I was like, wow, this is a really, I mean, it was amidst all the, you know, kung fu and fighting and all that, which was cool. I liked it. There was like this very complex storyline in it that you got to be somewhat enlightened to understand that kind of dichotomy that exists.
Mm. Yeah, it's been forever since I watched that movie. I do recall seeing it, but a long time ago.
I think Mila Kunis is in it as well.
Mm.
And Gary Oldman, of course, is just phenomenal, dude. That guy. I mean, I put him in my top 5 as far as actors go. I've seen him in so many different movies and play so many different roles. He can do just about anything.
Mm.
I mean, even his role as in Batman was good. Where he plays, what's the guy's name? What's the character's name in Batman? The mayor?
Chief.
I don't
He
even
played
know
the
the actor
chief.
you're talking about, dude.
He played the chief, yeah.
The chief. Yeah. Or Commissioner Gordon. That's what it was. Commissioner Gordon.
That's really, honestly, the only superhero movies I like are a couple of the Batman ones. But
I know that meme of him laughing, right? That's the famous meme.
Of Oldman laughing?
Is that who you're talking about? The guy that's laughing in that one meme they always play?
I haven't seen that. Were you talking about the younger guy that played the Joker? Maybe that's what you're talking about.
No, the Chief. In Spider-Man, right?
No.
Oh, no, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, you're actually talking about Bruce Campbell's brother in that one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's a different guy.
Yeah, you guys are way more into actors than I am. I've never even heard of any of these people.
Comics. I know the comics, and I kind of follow them, you know.
I'm into cinema, so, you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't hardly seen any movies, man. I hardly watch any movies because I just don't think there's that many good ones anymore. But I just saw Denzel Washington say that he hasn't been to the theater or watched a movie in forever. It doesn't interest him. He said.
Why would you go to a theater? Who goes to theaters nowadays? I mean, wouldn't you much rather sit at home and watch the movie in the comfort of your house than to go to a dirty movie theater and sit in there with elbow to elbow with strangers?
I think for most films, I would rather see it at home, but I think that there are some films that just the theater is almost a must. It's just because of the whole cinema experience with the sound and the immersion, and it's there's something about it.
It depends how good of a home system you have, you know.
Well, yeah.
You got a 60-inch TV and sprouts on the yards.
I don't know. I think there's always going to be some nostalgia to going to the show, but I wouldn't. No,
Okay.
If it was like a Roger Deakins film or something like that, the cinematography is just amazing. Of to want to see it on the big screen, dude. I even like the idea of going to the drive-thru, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I just like nostalgia. You know, I grew up going to the drive-in, man. You know, it was like the thing to do. And I just saw there was they were getting ready to tear down this drive-in, and somebody just barely scrapped up enough money to buy it, and now it's like thriving. It's like they're busy all the time. And then they really went over the top to try to make sure that they brought back the nostalgia of it all. So really get taken. It's kind of a blast to the past, and it's just everything. You know, it's a cool experience. One here in Tulsa was where they filmed Outsiders. We have that one here with Patrick Swayze, Tom Cruise, Ralph Macchio, Emilio Estevez, you know, what's the guy? C. Thomas Howell, all those people. They did a lot of the filming here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at one of our legendary drive-ins. It's not drive-throughs, drive-in.
Yeah. Drive-through is what you get at McDonald's.
You get the AI now when you go to the drive-through.
Yeah.
You can get a person. Isn't that nice of them?
Isn't that nice?
I'm getting a little bit of scratchiness somewhere. Mark, are you picking that up?
No, I don't hear it at all over here. I don't.
Okay.
But Roger said it too, and I don't know where that's coming from.
We're going for that
nostalgic LP vinyl sound for the whole show, and I like it.
Right. I got kids.
You know, cassette tapes are making.
I got kids talking in the background, so that might be part of it too.
You know,
we're gonna switch rooms here in a minute anyway.
Yep.
Probably less than that.
You know, the cassette tapes on eBay, some of them are going for $100, $200, $300, $500. Audio cassette tapes.
Jeez. Well, that's just silly.
And nostalgia, man. So making a big comeback. LPs, audio. I would imagine 8-tracks are coming sooner than later. Although I feel like cassettes, the 8-track was supposed to be like the successor to the cassette, but I feel like the 8-track was worse.
All right, let's switch over to the next room. Let me get it going here.
All right, man.
See you in a minute, brother.
Yeah, and I'll see you on the other side. Everybody hang up.
Are you going to close the room like you always do?
Yeah.
Or should I close it myself?
All right, bye. Get everybody in here.
Okay.
Okay, how you doing? I'm super DJ. You like my masculine DJ voice? I'm should not like this the whole way with this kind of energy too. All right.
Barry, you sound great.
I sound great, man. Mark, how you doing, man, tonight? Are you doing all right? I said, Mark, are you doing all right?
I'm a little busy right now with. Oh, there we go.
That's what you get for coming 2 minutes late, man.
What? You were the one that didn't start until later. I've been trying to call you since I started CS's call.
Yeah, Barry.
You lie.
30 seconds, guys.
I appreciate you. You're trying your best, man. That's all that matters.
Oh, boy.
He just ignores me.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Well, I would too.
It doesn't even face it. Yeah, I would too. I would ignore me. I do ignore me.
I got a lot I'm working on right now, you know?
See how he's playing like he's doing stuff on the computer?
Here
See,
comes your countdown.
that's why
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're live and on the radio side, like right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Censorship Roundtable Radio Show, Wednesday night edition for August 27, 2025. That's right, August 27, 2025. And it's kind of been a rough day. Barry, how are you today, man?
Doing pretty good. Lots of doom and gloom here in Tulsa. Oklahoma's been raining all day. And, just kind of overcast. And it feels like London, like I said. But, hopefully we'll get some sun this week.
Yeah, I was mentioning before the show, we got a little bit of rain out here for the last few nights. And boy, is it wonderful. We haven't seen rain all summer. It just hasn't rained since like April. So we're looking at it like it's just fantastic. You guys probably got enough of it by now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've had more than plenty.
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that today was a bit of a rough day. There was a shooting at a school up in Minneapolis, and 2 children were killed. Well, there were 2 fatalities, plus the shooter died, as far as the way I'm reading it. So there was, 2 of the children and the shooter committed suicide. But Barry, this was one of those rare ones. This was actually a female mass shooter. We don't see that very often.
Actually, it was a transgender.
Oh, gosh, there it is. You're not supposed to say that.
Another transanity has struck again. Yeah.
On a church, on a Catholic school, they were in, mass at the time in the church.
Yeah, they were.
And he shot him through a stained glass window.
Yeah.
This is just
sick, man. I mean, did you see the video of him like a couple of hours he posted on social media before he went and did his dirty deed? He was laughing demonically as he combed over all of his ammo, and it was disgusting, man. I mean, this guy's personified evil, dude. He had his whatever you call the little thing you stick in the gun. It said, "For the children." Ha 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 ha.
Oh, the clips. Yeah.
He had
one that said for Donald Trump or something. Just on and on. He saw these people as the enemy. The people that go to church are the ones that, tend to be against. I don't want to say trans rights, because I'm not personally against any trans rights. I don't think anyone in there is against trans rights. We're against shoving this stuff down the throats of little children.
Mm-hmm.
We're against doing that behind the parent's back. And then if the parents don't like it, you take the kid away from the parent. I'm dead against all that.
Oh, yeah.
I think kids can't consent to puberty blockers.
Well, you have to 18. They're just believing the lies of the mainstream media that they've been fed, I mean, because the mainstream media is all about being, bigoted and divisive. And so they believe all these things they say about the right, about Christians. And then they just get this anger, that they build up within these people. It's like winding them up so that they will go and kill. So I blame the media partially for this. I blame the Democrats, the far left, and the globalists, because this is part of their social engineering.
Yeah. And, anyone on the left, I've seen, Billboard Chris, he has that sign on all the time that says children can't consent to puberty blockers. And people say it doesn't do any damage. You can go off them at any time and go right back to normal. But that's not true. It's a puberty blocker. If you don't go through puberty when you're supposed to go through puberty, you can't just go off them when you're 18 and expect to, your voice is going to change, your balls are going to drop, and, you're going to grow hair on your butt all of a sudden, right? You're not going to be the same man you would have been had you gone through puberty when the good Lord intended you to go through puberty.
Yeah.
It's crazy to say that there's no damage that's done by this stuff.
All the people that transition back even earlier messed up. And especially if they get their breast cut off or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of that is not really reversible, not in the way that it was intended to be.
Yeah. I mean, you can get breast implants like anyone could, right? Like, you can have, but if they're removing the memories and all the functionality of it, then you can never breastfeed,
Well, yeah, that and the sensitivity of it for a woman, I think that's gone as well. I mean, I've never met a single person that's transitioned back that's just said, oh, yeah, it's exactly as if I never transitioned. That is just never the case. Never, never, never.
And as I've said many, many times, they're specifically targeting gay men and lesbians, right? Gay men and women are being targeted because the minute they have that feeling that, hey, maybe I like boys or I like girls or whatever, boom, you're born in the wrong body. So there is a victim to all this, and it is the gay community. Just to put that out there. I think the LGB would do very well to distance themselves a bit from the T and push back on some of this stuff and say, hey, wait a minute, you know, you're targeting us. You're targeting the kids that are just like us. When I was a kid, you know, you talk to a gay man, he'll tell you, man, when I was a kid, I was confused. I like boys. I don't know why, you know, all of a sudden I'm, you know, 14, 15 years old and you like boys. Okay. That doesn't mean you're born in the wrong body. That doesn't mean you should transition to a woman. It means you're gay. That's it. There's a lot of gay people out there.
Well, just to give a little similar juxtaposition as to how insane all this is, even like in Iran and in different Middle Eastern Muslim countries, doctors would not cut off a person's hand. Like, say, for example, they got caught stealing and you know, in some radical areas, if you steal, they cut your hand off. But medical doctors in Muslim countries said, I am not going to cut off somebody's hand because it's freaking crazy, man. It's cruel and unusual punishment. It's wrong on every level. You don't go cutting off kids' genitalia either. I mean, the very fact that those Middle Eastern countries have a little bit more, you know, common sense as far as the medical doctors are concerned than our doctors who are willing to cut off the genitalia of a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old. That's sick, man. Those people need to be locked up in jail. They need to have their license taken away from them, and no mercy, because they are showing no mercy to our children.
Yeah. So what drugs was this shooter on? That's the next question we want to ask, right?
Yes,
what mix of cocktail drugs, you know, prescription drugs was this person on? Because that is where I want to point to first and foremost in every one of these shooters incidents. You know, is first and foremost, what drugs are they on? I bet you that's the most tangible and solid link you can have between all these school shooters. I bet money on.
Yeah, there's usually a few common links. Usually the drug thing is like almost 90%. And then smaller percentage, but still a pretty strong percentage, Satanism. A lot of them are into Satan. And this guy probably, I mean, he personified evil. There's no doubt, dude, he was a devil worshiper in my mind. I bet it'll come out he was.
Very well. I think he had some stuff on his Facebook timeline. I was watching Megyn Kelly this morning. She was talking about what they found on his timeline, and there was definitely some satanic stuff in there for sure. So, bingo.
Yeah. I mean, it's not rocket science. None of this stuff is rocket science. It's just that most people don't want to look into it because it's scary to them. It sort of shakes their worldview, and then they go, wow, man, things are just not as stable as I thought they were. So they just would prefer to live in their little normie land, you know, la-la land, which is just not helping anything.
Yeah, and, you know, already within an hour or two, you got the usual suspects out there calling for gun control. This isn't about gun control.
Oh, no.
It's not even close. It's about what we're teaching our kids. It's about the fact that they've lost their grip on life, on living life. The family's so broken. You know, that's another big common, you know, thing is no father figure with so many of these shooters. Just, they don't have a father figure around.
Exactly.
Someone who's gonna, you know, whip their backside when they do the wrong thing. You know, and I mean, I don't want to see kids whipped per se, but I don't think a spanking is the end of the world. I've gotten a few of them, and it was more pomp and circumstance than it was pain, right?
Exactly. I mean, you know, I totally support being able to spank your children. Of course, I'm not for any kind of abuse. I mean, there are lines that you could cross quite easily, probably. But let's not also forget lowering the rhetoric, man. That's also what it's about. You know, mainstream media continued to, you know, talk about the right and trying to destroy democracy, white supremacy, transphobia, pushing all of these lies into mentally unstable people's minds, and it's wiping them up and then sending them out to do the job, and that also gives them you know, it exonerates them from any evil. We didn't do that. I mean, think about it.
Oh, yeah.
Why hire someone to go out and do your dirty work for when you could just wind them up?
You're right. You're so right. And it really is. It's just the press in this country is god awful. You know, they'll tell the trans people, hey, they're fighting to take away all your rights. They're taking away the rights of women. Well, where? How? What are you talking about? What rights are we taking away? That you want the right to go into the girls' restroom and walk around naked in there with your thing hanging out? Well, that's not a right. That never was a right. We're not taking away that right from you. You never, ever had that right.
Yeah.
Don't get it mixed up. You know what I'm saying? Don't get it mixed up. Because it's ridiculous. They're trying to take away all our rights. No, man. You're just putting weirdo crap in the libraries. You're putting books in there that are just weird stuff. It's pedophilia. Literal pedophilia in books, in middle schools, in their libraries.
Yeah.
The parents have every right to be upset about that and demand it go away. That's not you losing your rights. That's some sicko put the book in there and people found it and now they want it out. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, they have to
No.
accuse us of what they're actually really doing. They're the ones really banning books and movies. You know, anything that gets too close to the truth, like anything about pedophilia, they ban that stuff, man. You know, but you know, you remember what you and I were talking about on the other show about how they were talking about, the left was talking about, oh, let's downplay, you know, using these words. I mean, that's a fringe people. They're going to keep, because look, we have predicted over and over and over again, at least I know I have, that they're going to double down on their insanity. They're going to sound more crazy than ever before. And like you were saying, and I was saying just a few days ago, they were saying at the DNC, at one of their little meetings, who cares about crime? Who cares about carjacking? Who cares about, you know, not being able to go out at night and be safe? Who cares about any of that? What matters is, you know, and then blah, 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 all their leftist insanity.
Yeah. I saw that. That was ridiculous. I might even have that clip somewhere up, but I don't want to get to it quite yet. But yeah, no, I swear they had this like a DNC summer meeting and it was just a disaster. Tim Waltz out there acting the fool, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's just these people are not learning anything. They're not going back, and they're only getting more and more crazy. And it's out there for everyone to see.
I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we talked about that. You and me talked about how they're going to show their true colors. They're not going to retreat. They're going to show you who they really are, what they really stand for. And that is coming out, man. And it's ugly, dude, because all of their policies and what they really believe deep down inside is incredibly ugly. I don't even think it's so much, you know, I hate Orange Man. It's I've got ugliness inside of me and I want to let it out and I want to bring it onto the whole world. Just like the globalists. They want to bring their ugliness and their dystopian nonsense to the whole world.
Yeah, it really is just on full display. 80-20 on so many issues, and they just push hard into the fringes, most insane aspects of the 20%, you know, unfavorable issues. It's it's mind-boggling to watch. Like I said, you know, today, let's ban every gun in the country because of the shooting. Well, no, that's not the problem. The gun didn't do the shooting. The crazy person did, you know, and that's just not an issue everyone's going to support. Do you know how many guns? What is there? Like, there are 300 million of us. I think there's 3 guns per person in this country. So nearly 1 billion guns. You're just going to get rid of those? Where are they going to go? How are you even going to come close to disarming the United States of America? You know, it's comical to even hear them think they can do it. And yet it's one of those issues that they can keep pounding on because they know they can never do anything about it, and they know they'll never be expected to do anything about it. But if they can go out and beat the drum all the time, then it makes them sound compassionate. You know?
That's the key. It makes them sound compassionate. And they fake it. Really not even very well anymore. Did you see the Gavin Newsom where he was talking about, I'm sensitive because of this. I'm sensitive because of that. And it's like, when you have somebody that doesn't care about anybody whatsoever other than their own selfish ambition, and we've seen that happen with Gavin. I mean, just look at California and the Palisades and all of that. The dude doesn't care for anybody but himself. So when he gets up there and tries to pretend like he's sensitive and cares about other people, it's ridiculous. Nobody believes it, not even the people on the left, dude. And he's making all these Rick Astley dance moves and doing weird stuff with his hands like Bill Gates. I mean, there's something wrong with that guy.
Yeah, I mean, let's think about the Palisades, right? Altadena as well. The parts of Altadena that I've seen are pretty nice. You know, real nice homes out there, man. Palisades is on another level, though. Right by the ocean, right? It's the gateway to Malibu. It's right there near Sunset and all the. It's just perfect location with multi-million-dollar homes. The lots are multi-millions. The homes are, a lot of them are 3,000 square feet. They're not huge, or but they're still $5-10 million, right? It'd be, I don't know, 300,000-400,000 in Tulsa. They're 3-4 million, 5-8 million out there, So these people have money, and I'm talking money, big money, right?
Oh yeah.
And your house burns down, and so what do you want to do? Boom, let's rebuild. Let's go. Here's a check. How much? You know what I mean? The house isn't the expensive part of the whole deal. It's the land that makes it so expensive. People knock up 3,000 square foot homes in, a couple months. They build entire subdivisions of them in the summer. Why hasn't LA rebuilt? Why haven't they even pulled the permits yet? It's never going to be rebuilt. And these are a lot of really rich people who could snap their fingers and have more trucks going in and out of there than you could even imagine. That place should be a swarm, a beehive of construction. And it's not. It's a ghost town. And they're eyeing, public housing in there now?
Yeah.
Again, because it's such a great location, why not put the homeless in there?
Yeah, they're building that low-income housing, man. So anyway, they're pretty much showing their colors, I don't know. They say one thing, oh yeah, we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen fast, the Mayor Adams said, and none of it ever happens, man. I mean, I don't understand. If I was a Democrat, I would be so ticked off at the Democrats right now. But for some reason, they just keep, gathering around them and supporting them. It seems really weird to me, but I'm pretty thankful that at least some of them are waking up to it and saying, man, there's something really wrong here, and maybe I need to consider being an independent in the least. Maybe not a Republican, but an independent.
Yeah, just something different, something different, something. And MAGA is that. It truly is. It's not Republican, really. Donald Trump is not. The Republican Party isn't what it used to be. If it was, John Bolton would be celebrated. Instead, he's being investigated, right?
Yep. You got it.
And the old Republican Party, the party of Dick Cheney and John Bolton, is dead.
Mm-hmm.
The rhinos, we know who they are, and they can all go fly a kite. Heck, we can add Trey Gowdy to the list, if I'm not mistaken. Now, calling again for gun control after this shooting today. So, yeah, no, it is rebuilding. It's becoming something much, much, much better than it was. But it's still, it's got a long way to go. And I almost could see what's happening in the U.S. with the Tories and Labor happening here, where the two parties just kind of they fall out of relevance. And people start looking for new parties that again, if Trump started a MAGA party, I think 80-90% of the Republican Party would change their registration in, side of a week. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to watch, man.
What do you think about the Democrats? I think that, and tell me what you think, because I think that when they look at a Chucky Schumer or Nancy Pelosi, they look at those people kind of like we looked at the rhinos, and then they look at their populist movement, like we look at maybe, I don't know, whoever, right, that's on the right, that's populist, right?
Like the Squad.
They look at them like the Squad, but that's not populism, man. That's communism, Marxism, regressivism. It's everything backwards. So that's why they're failing, because if they had a real grassroots movement that was pro-America and pro-freedom and all the things they used to stand for, they would be a real competition with us. But right now there's no competition. competition. They have no chance at winning, even if Trump kind of falls out of the good graces of some of the Republicans, because nobody wants to put a Democrat in because they will tank it. Look, this shooting, this mass shooting at this Catholic place, the Catholic church, it was a leftist, fantasy world. It was consistently they vote Democrat, in that area, and they are very left leaning. And lots of activism that goes on there as far as leftist activism and stuff like that. It's a leftist hellscape. And that's where most of this stuff, and we've said that over and over again, that most of the craziness is going to happen in these leftist hellscapes. It'll happen also in other places as well. But 90% of the time, all the insanity is going to happen where there is no more rule of law, because this is like a free pass for the crazy people to go in and do whatever they want to do, because they also think they might be able to get away with it. But this guy, he shot himself and killed himself because he's even weaker than, standing trial.
Mm-hmm. And, they, in the last administration, there was the trans shooter in Tennessee, and they took the manifesto and hid it from the public for like a year and change, right? I think it wasn't until Trump got into office that they actually released it.
Is it in its full? Have we seen it, the fullness of it, though? I don't even know we've seen all.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? This guy, same thing. He's probably got some manifesto tucked up his sleeve, and now, fortunately, with a rational government in place, they'll hopefully release it so the world can see this craziness firsthand, and what drove this person to this level of just a psychosis that they would go and kill little kids, man, in church. Who does that? What kind of evil do you have to have in your heart to even consider doing that?
And it wasn't random, because like you said, he had it on his clip, man. This one's for the children. These are very sick and disturbed people. There's a lot. Remember what I talked about a couple of shows ago? I said, I'm doing a whole series just on there are monsters among us, because there are. And people need to be aware there are crazy monsters among us. And I would put Bill Gates in that category as well, Klaus Schwab in that category, and a whole bunch of Harari. Those people are monsters, man. Absolute monsters. Probably Diddy, probably Epstein. Those are monsters. And they're living among us, man, walking among us. And they're not being held accountable, right, for many of the crimes against humanity that they've committed. They're still walking free. That's what's insane.
Yeah. A lot of them are. I mean, heck, we just saw Trump today talk about putting RICO charges on George Soros and his son and many of the people that are involved with his organization for, you name it. I mean, let's just throw the book at them. Subversion, treason, actively participating in a potential to create and cause a revolution in the United States and many other countries around the world. Many, many other countries. I mean, boy, if you start throwing the book at this guy, he's, the top of the pile of evil on the planet. When you say evil walks among us, George Soros is like the first name that should come to mind. Yep. And his prodigy, Alex, who just married Uma Abedin, who was Hillary Clinton's right hand woman for most of her career. Yep. So, all these people walk in the same circles. They have that power right in their hands. Anthony Weiner was her ex.
Yeah, that's
or
a real
Carlos Danger, I think, was his alias. But anyway, folks, we're about out of time. We're gonna go take a break right now. This is the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. We'll be right back with more right after this.
Good job, guys.
Good old Wiener.
Yeah.
He's a good old
Carlos Danger.
He goes on like some of the right-wing podcasts now, and he just gets obliterated every time he goes on one of their shows.
Yeah, I might have seen him on Patrick Bet David a while back.
Exactly.
Now that you mention it, yeah.
I want to know.
The same damn fool he's always been. Yeah.
Police officer saw that laptop and they all threw up. There was so much.
Are you guys getting any of that scratchy sound yet, or is that all gone?
We were, and when it happened, your mic would light up, and it almost sounded like something wasn't quite plugged in, or like you had a ferret chewing on a wire, maybe.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't. It seemed to go away further into the show. Like the first 5 minutes, it was more noticeable, but then
when we didn't have any problems when I switched rooms. It could have been. It could have been when I was refreshing pages. I don't know. taking away
No, you were
some
sitting
bandwidth
back.
and
You
things
didn't
like
seem.
that. But I doubt that.
Yeah, you didn't seem to be doing it. You seemed to be just kind of sitting back when it was happening.
Veterans
Like
Radio says
you're
the
leaning up
static
the
keeps
cord.
starting and stopping. I don't know. Is it coming from me?
Well, I turned my
looks like it.
so it's not coming from me. I did check my for and it's not me because when I turned it down, I could still hear it going on.
Yeah, Mark, you would light up when it happened.
Okay.
Because you light up my life,
Uh,
bring me joy.
Wow, Mark.
Mark, you bring me joy.
Mark's getting a serenade tonight.
You light up
Well,
my days.
I don't know. I mean, Roger a couple weeks ago was trying to say that I'm a handsome man. I'm like, okay, well,
Come
not
on to you,
the
man.
radio, man.
I'm concerned, man.
Yeah, I am. You know, I'm
He's
like,
single. He's single, man. You know, he's making those
yeah,
moves.
he was, and I said, I think you got the wrong mark. I know he always targets our good buddy Medworthy, but you know, hey, told him to. I think he needs to get some new glasses, buddy. He is restreaming, so I know he's listening to us.
Oh man.
I'm glad David Hogg isn't around right now.
He would definitely
Oh, no.
he would escalate that to the next level for sure.
I would definitely have to up my Minds tokens until they're all gone. You know? Oh, he said, no, he didn't say I was a handsome guy. He said I'm a beautiful man. I'm like, Roger. No. Yeah. Leave it to Roger.
So, did Mr. Rogers say it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, or
Yeah, and then he said, would you be mine, could you be mine, and won't you be my neighbor?
or it was a beautiful day in the neighborhood?
No, it is. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful day in the neighborhood.
I think that's one of the top Mandela effects, they say.
Yeah, well, anyways, you know.
Every now and then when I get bored going down the real rabbit hole, I'll go down these crazy ones just for fun.
Thank God the clock is still ticking down and we've got seconds to go.
Gotta love
I
it,
want
man.
this to be a nice, quick night like we've been doing, but I don't know. It's starting to slow down a little bit for me right now. I'm like, uh-oh. Anyways, we got about 30 seconds until we come back on air. Just
Okay,
for
good.
your information.
FYI.
Yeah. Oh, they're getting ready to ban acronyms. Censorship was talking about that on Sunday night, so be careful about acronyms, folks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Any other ones?
Anyways, here's your countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you are live and on the radio side right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Censorship Sucks Roundtable Radio Show. For August 27, 2020, we got with us Bullhorn Barry in the house. What's going on, Barry? What's new?
Wow, I don't know, man. Just
You
trying
don't
to keep
know.
all the news, you know, and see what's happening around the world. Nothing too particular. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you always ask me questions when I'm not ready for them. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, we're just coming back in, and you
I
should
know.
expect
I need to
some sort of banter.
have a canned answer, right? That I just give out, you know.
Mhm.
Maybe
Most of the time, when someone asks how they're doing, they just say fine.
I could
How
go
are
into
you?
my super DJ voice. Like,
Hey, thanks, man. Everything's going great, man. I got in a jog this morning, and everything's fantastic.
Mhm.
does that work for you?
It all works, man. Whatever you do, it's just like you got that Midas touch. You know, it just turns to gold. Do the opposite of woke.
Oh my goodness. What does it turn to when Willie does it though?
Oh, what comes out the back end of a worm?
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, let's dive into another story here that's making big waves all over the world. Really, is this 12